kids don't really think about how much technology impacts their daily lives, and I think sometimes even adults don't even realize it. And so this is more of a awareness raising, sort of a conversation starter. We wanted to have our kids stop and reflect a little bit on how much technology they use, and how constantly they use it, so that we can start to have some really thoughtful conversations about how that impacts our daily life. And so the idea of taking a tech timeout is more to step back from it a little bit, so that we can get a fuller perspective on that.
John, did the students jump in with both feet right away, hesitant, or did they understand what they're getting into?
Well, it looks like in most places, or in most ways, the students are going to want to do it, but we also have students that are a little skeptical about being able to even start it. So we really are seeing the full gamut as we're getting ready to initiate this weekend.
Okay,
It's a mixed. I mean, it's a mixed bag. They're at first, the conversations have been really interesting with students, but at first they were like, no, I can't do that. There's no way I can pull that off, And then some were up to the challenge and thinking, that they would like to try it. But it's been a mixture, and it's been interesting to hear all the different devices that these kids have, and how much they use them, how much they text, how much they're on social media, and so that's been interesting too. But I think it'll be nice to see how many of them actually follow through with it.
Yeah, everything starts this weekend, and then you're going to play the movie Tuesday. Talk about how this next week's going to how that's going to be.
Well, the students, our middle school students, have seen the documentary, so we've already viewed it as a class and have talked about it. They're going to as of Friday afternoon, basically, we're going to sign the pledge, so to speak, to take the tech timeout, and then over the weekend it'll be a timeout Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday at school would be a full day of no technology, and then the evening program on Tuesday.
Yeah, John, you want to talk about the program on Tuesday?
What we're going to have is it's going to start at 6:30, and it's at the JCC auditorium, and we're inviting the public. Please come and become part of the conversation with us. We're going to view that documentary. We're also going to be able to Skype in with the producer of the documentary, who's going to share with us some of the things that have been going on from his point of view, as well as have a chance to interface with us. And then we'll have a discussion about what it was like to experience no technology for 3 days, and how do we then move forward with better understanding how we're using technology and being sensitive to that.
From the Lippman School in our studio, Matt, Russ, and John Bennett. And Matt, this idea locally, and I applaud this effort here in the next week, but nationally too, what we're seeing over 150,000 students across the country jump in on this idea.
Yeah, a lot of students have participated in it. It's, started out west with a high school teacher who wanted to do a social experiment to see if his students could even refrain from technology use, and so that got a little traction around the country, and coupled with the documentary, there's a whole program that if schools want to formally take a tech timeout, there's a curriculum that goes along with it that they can help you implement that and to take a little break. The recommended in the curriculum is a 3-day break, and I think the original one, I think they took a week out, or they attempted to take a week off from technology.
Well, Corbin Burnson's second movie that he filmed here in Akron was called 3-Day Test, and was kind of along this same line. A family in Akron, Ohio, the one dad gets upset what's going on, and he gets his family, kind of a comedy, locks them in the house and says, no technology. And John, when we were talking before we went on the air, we might not realize how much it's just not the kids, we use that technology each and every day.
Absolutely. And with students, it can sometimes be a distraction. I mean, it's a tool, and it's a useful tool that we capitalize on in the classroom, but I can't count how many times I've had to say, we need to unplug, or I need you to close your lids on your laptop, so that I can, regain a classroom's attention, because it's constant information that's streaming in, and they're getting it from all angles, and it can be, we think we're good multitaskers, but it can be hard to disseminate, to process all that information when it's being disseminated from so many different, angles.
And as John mentioned, again, that movie is coming up at the Shaw JCC Auditorium Tuesday night at 6:30. Tech Timeout. The community is invited to come on in. They're going to do some Skyping with the director of the movie, the documentary, so take advantage of that. John, Matt, thanks for coming on in this morning. Good idea, Larry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There you go. Representatives from the Lippman School joining us live in our studio. It's currently 12 degrees, 1590 WAKR.